Hello everybody, Loto for Life here, bringing us a brand new video, and today we got the archetype analysis of Eldritch. An archetype I was generally considering just skipping, but I did promise I would cover everything in that poll, and I will continue to do so and engage with you guys and, do what you guys want to see with the polls. So, anyway, Eldritch. Where do I even begin with this? This is arguably one of the best decks in the format right now. I mean, if not the best deck, I should say. It's arguably the best deck. It's a really tough tie between it and Adamancipator. And unfortunately, Konami didn't do anything to fix that, but I digress. Either way, this is a deck that I was really looking forward to whenever it was getting ready to come out. And now I will never be able to play it IRL because... good lord, have you seen the prices of the cards? It's ridiculous. I digress though. Eldritch is one of those really cool archetypes where there's only one main deck monster, but they spun it around on its head. You know, with past main deck monsters, like one main deck monster archetypes, like, I don't know, Sky Striker, Invoked, etc., the deck was an archetype focused on extract monsters. This has no extract monsters. Heck, it only has one monster, and that's a boss monster in Eldritch the Golden Lord. And that is really, really cool. I like this idea. And also, on top of that, a lot of the spells and traps are designed to cheese out the boss, and then, hey, if you already have the boss out, you can summon other zombies too. Because, well, the boss comes first, and then the peasants can come later. That's the kind of idea with it. But, on top of that, Konami had to bring back an old gimmick that they've kind of forgotten about. And that is trap monsters. And I'm not talking about traps that can special summon themselves as monsters later on. I'm talking about traps that special summon themselves as monsters, but are also still a trap. You know, like, it's not like Paleo, where, it special summons itself as a monster, and it's no longer a trap card, but, they're still a trap and everything. And I really like that. I wish Konami would really just kind of make a really good archetype full of trap monsters. I mean, it would be garbage, but it would be cool. I mean, I guess they kind of did with Eldritch, and the deck is, like, really good, but I digress. So, this makes for a really interesting playstyle. The deck, as a pure deck, isn't bad. It's not particularly great either. I mean, it was still somehow doing really good as, like, a pure deck, even with, like, with some zombie stuff thrown in. But, however, the biggest thing that really makes this deck work is the fact that it is so versatile, and you can throw it in so many other decks. You can throw it in zombies. I've seen Lightsworn builds. I have seen Synchron builds. I think that's like the most popular one, with like freaking Jet Synchron and stuff like that, and just all the crazy combos that it can do. So it is really, really interesting. This deck can generate just so much advantage. It's crazy. So yeah, it's really, really crazy. And, I'm sure most everybody already knows a lot more about this deck than me, but I'm still going to throw my own hat in the ring and opinion. Side note, I gotta say, Eldritch the Golden Lord himself, probably one of my favorite design cards ever in terms of his artwork. He's just so freaking cool. It makes me want to see him as a villain in a video game or something. It just looks so cool. Look at that. Anyway, speaking of the cool guy, let's talk about him. Eldritch the Golden Lord. He's a level 10 boss monster, light zombie, 2500 attack, 2800 defense, and he has 3 effects. You can send this card and 1 spell trap card from your hand to the graveyard, then target a card on the field, send it to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 spell trap card you control to the graveyard, add it to your hand. Well, add this card to the hand, and then you can special summon 1 zombie from your hand, and if you do that, until the end of your opponent's turn, it gains 1000 attack and defense and cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each effect of Eldritch the Golden Lord once per turn. So the idea with this guy is that you can send himself to the graveyard along with one of your spells and traps, which is important because all but a handful of the spells and traps have graveyard effects. So you send him and one of your spells and traps to the graveyard to get rid of a problem card your opponent controls. Then you can send one of your other spells and traps, which again has a graveyard effect, that you control to the graveyard to add them to your hand. And then on top of that, you can either special summon himself or one of your other zombies to the field, give it 1000 attack and defense buff, and make it indestructible by card effects. This guy is a beast of a boss monster, and I love it. He's got 3 great effects. It's a supportive effect. He doesn't do anything on the field, but who cares? He's the king. Everybody else has to do the work for him once he actually gets out. So that is a awesome idea with this card, and there's a reason he's $110, if not more. I mean, he's made out of gold. He might as well be a gold card, too. I digress. Anyways, play 3 in most standard builds from what I've seen. I think I've seen like 1 or 2 that do play 2, but I don't feel like that's good. Play 3. Next up, we got Cursed Eldland. Oh boy, starting off big. This is a continuous spell card. You cannot declare attacks except as zombie monsters. You can only use each effect of each of the following effects of Cursed Eldland once per turn. First effect, you can pay 800 life points, add an Eldritch or Golden Land card, spell trap card from your deck to your hand. Okay, cool. So you can add an Eldritch monster or one of your Golden Lands from your deck to your hand. That's great. Okay. Then, if this card is sent from the field in the spell trap card zone to the graveyard, you can send 1 Eldritch monster or 1 Golden Land spell trap card from your deck to the graveyard. This is a wonderful searcher, okay? And it does just absolutely great things overall. So the big thing is that you can search out Eldritch or one of your Golden Lands. If you already have Eldritch, you grab a Golden Land. If you already have a Golden Land, search out Eldritch. Most of the time you're going to be searching Eldritch, just generally speaking. And then on top of that, if you need to use Eldritch's effect in the graveyard, you can send Eldland to add Eldritch to your hand, and then that will trigger Eldland's effect to send a dude to the graveyard. And yeah, just again, such a wonderful card. And this also really lets you kind of see more of the idea of what this archetype scheming is in terms of its lore. In that the name Eldritch is a combination of rich and Eldritch, I should say. It's really hard to say that without it just sounding exactly the same. But basically, actually, no, wait, it is Eldritch, but it's spelt differently. Basically, if you've never heard of Lovecraft, that's what Eldritch is, and you can really start to see it here too with like the tentacles and stuff like that, and just a creepy thing. Like, this reminds me of At the Mountains of Madness so much, and I love it. But it's also like a reference to the road to El Dorado, and El Dorado in general, the legendary Golden City has crap tons of curses, so yeah. Moving on, we get to the first of the 2 main sub-archetypes in this archetype. Yeah, there's 2 kind of sub-archetypes. That being Eldritch and Golden Land. We've already heard about Golden Land, we'll see more about it later. But Eldritch is the first main one. And basically the Eldritchs are the special summon cards. They are the cards that are going to be special summoning out Eldritch and also other zombies. The Golden Lands, for the most part, are, trap monsters, with the exception of 1 card. So, really good cards here. I really like the idea between how the Eldritchs are all about special summoning, while the Golden Lands are the actual monsters. Anyways, Eldritch Black Awakening. For the record, all 3 Eldritchs basically do the same thing, but summon from different areas. Eldritch can summon 1 zombie from your hand or deck in defense position, but if you control no Eldritch monsters, you can only summon Eldritch monsters with this effect. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except zombie monsters. Eldritch of White Destiny does the same thing, except summons from hand or graveyard, and it's a quick play. And then Eldritch of Scarlet Sanguine does the same thing, but summons from deck or graveyard, and it's a trap. The big difference is, and they also all share the same effect where you can banish this card from your graveyard to set a Golden Land spell trap card from your deck, but you can only use 1 effect or the other per turn. So you can't special summon and then use its effect to set Golden Land from your deck. You have to use 1 or the other. Now, because of that, Eldritch of Black Awakening is objectively the worst of the trio. I know some people are going to, but you get a free special summon from deck, and yes, that's true, but here's the thing. The Golden Lands, they set the Eldritchs just like the Eldritchs set the Golden Lands. Except the Golden Lands only do it during the end phase, which means if you set Eldritch or Black Awakening with it, it's going to be sitting there on your board doing nothing and just going to get sniped by your opponent before you even get to use it. So, due to that, I only recommend playing 2 because it does just suck compared to everything else. I've seen some builds still play 3, but I disagree with that. Then we got Elixir of White Destiny, which is a quick play, and I recommend playing 2 to 3 of it. Kind of leaning more towards 3, but 2 is also pretty good. It really comes down to your personal preference and what build you're doing, because it's a quick play, so you can activate it during your opponent's turn and get a free special summon. Same thing with Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. It's a trap card, and you can do it during the first thing on your opponent's side of the, on your opponent's turn. And then, of course, they'll be in the graveyard, and since you use the effect to spell summon during your opponent's turn, you can then use the effect to, well, set a golden land during your turn, which is really, really good, and I really like that. It's a very, very helpful in general. And I feel like Elixir Scarlet Sanguine, it's just no doubt about it, play 3, or however many you're allowed to, because this card's probably going to get hit on the ban list. Didn't like Simo put it at 1 on his fake ban list? I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to the other Golden Lands. Well, to the actual Golden Lands, I should say. Conquistador of the Golden Land. It's a continuous trap card. Special summon this card as a normal monster. Zombie, light, level 5, attack 500, defense 18. This card is also still a trap. Then, if you control Eldritch the Golden Lord, you can destroy 1 face-up card on field. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, set 1 Elixir spell trap card directly from your deck. You can only use 1 effect of Conquistador, the Golden Land, once per turn, and only once that turn. So the kind of idea is that you use the Golden Lands during your opponent's turn to be able to disrupt what your opponent's doing, and you use the Elixirs during your turn, or like during your opponent's turn to generate advantage, and then you use them during your end phase or during your main phase with the Elixirs to be able to just generate more advantage. They recur themselves, they search each other. It's really good. So this is like one of the main ones because he's a pop. And it also kind of just sets the kind of bar for the other Golden Lands. In that when you summon them, they're okay. They're normal monsters with bad stats. But if you happen to have the boss, you get a bonus effect. And Conquistador is kind of the best of them in the sense that he gets to just pop a card whenever he's summoned, which is really, really helpful. Just a free destruction is awesome. And it's not targeting, which is great. And he can destroy any face-up card, which again is great. And then we got Huaquiro of the Golden Land. Special on this card as a normal monster, yada yada yada. 1800, 500 reverse of Conquistador. Then, if you control Eldritch the Golden Lord, you can banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard, or sorry, either graveyard. And then during the end phase, he does the same thing as the other Golden Lands. He sets Elixir. This is another really big one, but it kind of depends on the meta relevance. You know, like, oh, right now, yes, you would definitely probably be playing 2 of them because, you know, if you're doing against Eldritch in the mirror, you can get rid of your opponent's stuff in the graveyard, or if you're doing against Adamancipator, you can get rid of their block dragon and all that. Very, very important. He's basically just a walking DD Crow. And so because of that, he's very helpful. The fact that these guys are level 5s, by the way, means that you can use them with Uni Zombie without having to use his effect to instantly go into Omega, which is really, really handy. So just kind of throwing that out there. But yeah, how many Huaquiro you're playing is completely dependent on the current like meta and what's relevant. Then we got Guardian of the Golden Land. He's a continuous trap card, like the other 2 Golden Lands. Special on this card as a normal monster. Zombie Light, level 8, 800 attack, 25 in defense. He's still a trap, and then if you control Eldritch the Golden Lord, you can make the attack of 1 face-up monster in the field become 0, and then he does the Elixir thing. This is honestly the worst of the Golden Lands. He's still okay, and some people still play him because you can use him to make rank 8s, you know, like good old Hope Titanic Galaxy and all that. And the attack reduction is pretty handy because it can just make anything 0. And of course, if your opponent makes a Boral Sword, you can flip them over, make it 0. But you can also just flip over Conquistador and pop it. So yeah, it kind of is just variable. But the big thing is it's another Golden Land, and until we get better options, it is handy to have 1 or 2 available. But it's totally based on your build. Moving on, we got the best of the Golden Lands. Golden Land Forever, which, oh my god, I love this artwork. It's hard to tell, but like you got Eldritch just kind of being all like boss-like up here, leaning back and being like, yeah, I'm the king. Just awesome. So anyways, it is a Golden Land, so it is searchable off the Elixirs, and it is just quite honestly the best. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control an Eldritch monster, tribute one zombie monster, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. You can only activate one golden land forever per turn, and of course it is a counter trap. So yeah, this thing is great. The cost is negligible at best, and is just not much of a cost, especially for zombies. I mean, you're gonna get to tribute off your dudes and then bring them back and all that, and it doesn't matter, and you're just gonna be able to disrupt your opponent and make them not want to play, so that's just fun. Then we got probably my favorite name in the whole archetype, Eldorado Adelantado. Oh my god, I love that, and I love the artwork. He's basically going Super Saiyan. It's hard to tell just what the heck is going on in this artwork, especially with all the like foilness and stuff, but I digress. If you control an Eldritch monster, activate one of these effects. Shuffle 3 of your banished Eldritch or spell and trap cards with different names from your into your deck, and if you do, destroy all cards on the field. Shuffle 3 of your banished golden land spell and trap cards with different names into your deck, and if you do, have your opponent's life points, then gain life points equal to their life points. So, this card is basically an auto-win button for the archetype sometimes. Because once you run out of your resources, this puts them back into your deck, and then you either get a field nuke, or you get to just half your opponent's life points, and then gain some life points for your own. Which are both amazing effects for the archetype. The issue is, this card's not searchable. And due to that, it's sometimes teched as a one-of, just in case. Sometimes you'll see people play 2 of it. I've even seen somebody play 3, and I think that's stupid. Play 1 at most as a tech option, but it's not even worth playing in the more high competitive builds, because it just won't trigger very often, and more often it just ends up being a win more card than being anything actually helpful. And that is it with Eldritch. Oh boy, this deck, I love it. I really do. I love the concept. Eldritch is probably one of my favorite boss monsters in pure aesthetic alone. And heck, if you've ever seen the full art of him, he's wearing high heels just to add that extra flair of being a boss and just making your opponent intimidated. I mean, anybody who can fight in high heels, especially if it's a guy, it immediately gets like a double thumbs up from me, because I mean, again, I want this guy to be in a boss game. I want him to be a boss in a game. I want to see him in Dark Souls. Okay, it'd be awesome, but I can't let that get in my way of just how I am annoyed at how prevalent this deck is in the game. I would love to be able to play it, but it's just way too expensive. But, however, for those who do have the money for it, and maybe actually get to play in tournaments right now, because I sure can't, thanks to the name of a certain thingy that I can't say, but let's just put it this way, in many games and media and stuff, it makes stuff into zombies, but it doesn't in real life. It starts with a V, ends with Russ. God, I hate YouTube censorship. I digress. This deck, I mean, there's so many different varieties. You can play pure, you can play zombie control and all that fun stuff. And speaking of, zombie control is my main way of playing it. I love zombie control. It's a lot of fun. The Eldritch style just adds in even more, and you can just really pick apart stuff. Balderrock is annoying as ever, and because of that, it's just awesome. And I think Balderrock's level 8, so it's even easier to make rank 8s and stuff like that. This is a really fun build that I've put together. It's nothing meta relevant. I haven't gotten to play any tournaments in forever, but this is my personal fun take. If you want to see some of the meta relevant builds, I suggest you take a look at the usual channels. You know, Simo. Simo's the only one I can think of, honestly. I don't know if Nim even still makes videos, does he? I don't know. DZeef maybe. Whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so that is it for Eldritch. Next up, we will start talking about the next poll results, which, for those who haven't taken a look or anything for a long while, the poll results for the next good old archetype analysis is, if my phone will work with me, here is going to be Super Heavy Samurai. So I haven't actually looked at the poll for a while, and holy crap, guys, Super Heavy Samurai won at 40% of votes. And it's such a huge gap between it and the next one down, Plunder Patrol. Holy crap. At 26, followed by Deep Sea, then Ancient Warrior, and then Nemesis at 6. So that's going to be the next few. Once we get to like Ancient Warrior, I'll throw up the next poll, see what you guys want to see for archetype analysis. I can't wait to see what you guys want to see and everything. Do you guys like the polls? Because I for a long while, I would just cover whatever's relevant, you know, whatever's new. But I'm trying to introduce these polls to get more, to have you guys be able to interact more with the channel and all that fun stuff. And also, of course, because I don't want to just throw up whatever happens being the newest thing, but I also want to see what you guys think. So, that is all for now, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Rate, comment, and subscribe, please. It helps me out so much. And see y'all later. Peace out. Thank you all for watching the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And see y'all later.